You've yet to master the quiet sneeze. You stash tissues like a squirrel stashes nuts. Well, muddlers muddle no more. Try Zyrtec. It gives you powerful allergy relief. And Zyrtec's different than Claritin because Zyrtec starts working at hour 1 on the first day you take it. Claritin doesn't start working until hour 3. Zyrtec. Love the air.
And going. To put more giddy up in our get along, it's time to start gelling with Dr. Scholl's. And mix a little more pop in our hip hop. With the energizing support and cushioning of Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles, you'll want to get up and go.
News, weather, traffic, on demand at WDEF.com.
This guy runs a red light. Plows straight into me.
Well, I got a lawyer.
Yeah? What they do for you?
Investigated the crash, did all the paperwork. They even visited our family at the hospital.
Call Herbert Thornberry at 756-0101 today.
If you miss this, Criminal Minds, why leave bodies in an empty asylum? Good question. You'd be crazy. Criminal Minds, then. A new CSI.
The shooter's still in the casino.
2,000 cameras.
Guys, got a hit.
We have our shooter.
One killer.
I don't see anybody.
I just had him.
No one can catch.
I'm gonna guy in 2 places at the same time. Some might even call it a miracle.
Criminal Minds and CSI. CBS tonight.
Sometimes it's hot.
I like it.
Sometimes not so much. We have incredibly happy times. And our share of fights. I've admitted to being wrong. He knows he's not always right. But more than anything, there's us. And us is worth it all.
After you get hurt on the job, concerns linger, and still, there are more questions than answers. If you've been hurt on the job, Herbert Thornberry can help ease your mind and get you the workers' comp benefits you deserve.
Are you the victim of an assault? Go to JudgeJudy.com or call 1-888-800-JUDY.
Go ahead. Well, like you said, we were working on a project it was like the last project of the year.
Thomas, who took the box cutter from your house?
Dave took it. We were at his grandmother's house and we were like sitting in the jacuzzi, and then I don't know who called, but he was having a luau at his church. So then we went, and then we did have to perform a skit. So we were on the side of the church rehearsing the skit, and he pulls out the box cutter. I'm like, give that to me. So then I take it away from him, and I guess it was open, and I don't know if he was mad or whatever, but he comes at me, and I flinch, and then the box cutter ended up cutting him on the side of his wrist. And I'm not the type of person to fight.
There's no question that nobody did anything on purpose. Okay. David, there's no question that this wasn't intentional. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. So tell me, Miss Gallagher, what do you want?
Well, our out-of-pocket medical expenses were $115.
Okay, that's reasonable.
And I had asked Ms. Saldate if she would pay these since our health insurance covered the other $2,000.
Fine. So what you were asking for was $115. Well, then, explain to me why now you're suing for $5,000.
Well, this whole thing has been very frustrating.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with his arm. He has a little scar on his hand, right? Has a little scar on your hand, and it was clearly something that you shouldn't have been doing, walking around with that box cutter. Either one of you, right?
Right.
Now, what's this ridiculous counterclaim that you have?
I did a counterclaim because he was not supposed to take the box cutter from the house from the beginning. David admitted to me from the beginning that he had taken the box cutter from my house.
So?
He said accidentally,
So what's your $5,000 countersuit for?
For emotional distress.
In my emotional distress. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $115. That'll cover your medicals. Thank you. That's all.
Step back. Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Jacqueline and I were high school sweethearts. I didn't see her for 28 years.
He was living with me and then driving over to stay with his wife and kids.
$4,000 for.
I didn't know it at the time.
Judge Judy.
I got scared. My sister ran inside and called my mom.
I got pretty scared too.
Picked me up and took me to the
So I just called my mom so she could come pick me up.
Gave me 14 stitches.
Yeah, it was just an accident.
I would really like us to be friends again.
I mean, if I had done it on purpose, we wouldn't still be friends, right?
Minute, I was just driving along, and just like that,
I got hurt in the car.
I'm Brent, and I'm Jay. We're the insiders of the McMahon Law Firm. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call us.
It's fast and it's easy.
I got hurt in a car wreck. I just called the insiders of the McMahon Law Firm. It was just that fast. Just that easy.
Just call us.
Fast and it's easy.
The insiders at the McMahon Law Firm got me the money I deserved. All my bills got paid, and I got paid.
It's just that fast. Call us.
It's just that easy.
Call 265-1100. That's 265-1100.
Pets need dental care too. Dental disease in pets is very common, and it may lead to more serious health problems, such as liver, kidney, and heart disease. To prevent dental disease, proper care begins at our veterinary clinic with a thorough cleaning. After that, you can continue the process at home. Visit your veterinarian and learn more about exciting new advances in pet dental care. This message is brought to you by the Hamilton County Veterinary Medical Association, dedicated to the health and care of your pet. Visit HamiltonCountyVets.org.
With unexpected bills, we needed cash.
I needed some cash like now.
So we took our car title to Title Max.
So I took my car title to Title Man.
Title Max turned my car title into cash.
We won't have to sell our car.
My car title was my credit.
Title Max charged me half as much as the other guy.
50% less.
Next time you need cash, take your car title to Title Max. And you too will say, I got my title back with Title Max. The latest controversy surrounding the Bessie Smith drug, United States.
A bad vehicle has both crime and victim.
I couldn't afford to rent on my own. She left me high and dry.
He didn't have his half of the rent, so I paid it all by myself.
But the answers are put to the test.
What was the balance that you paid? In what denominations? And that was on what date?
Who will win the blame game?
You allegedly made these payments months ago.
Yes.
Judge Judy. You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheinman. The people are real. The cases are real. The verdicts are final. This is Judge Judy. 24-year-old Michelle Butler is suing her former live-in boyfriend, Colin Brown II, for unpaid rent and bills. Colin is countersuing, claiming Michelle damaged his television.
Order. All rise. This case number 102 County Matter Butler versus Brown.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge Parsons. This morning you may be seated and then seated.
Miss Butler, you and the defendant lived together for a period of time. You moved out, you settled with the landlord, and you want Mr. Brown to pay half of what you paid to the landlord. Correct. And Mr. Brown has some reason why that's inappropriate. And he has some counterclaim with regard to a television set that he said you broke during the course of the time that you lived together. Mr. Brown, from when to when did you and Miss Butler live together?
We moved together in May of 2010, and she moved out November 17th, I believe it was, of 2010.
When did this incident occur with the television set?
It occurred October 27th. I was at work that night.
Just a second. Did you have an argument with her?
Yes.
And is that when the television got broken?
Yes.
After October 27th, and after your television got damaged, did you and Miss Butler continue to live together?
Yes.
Tell me about your living together. How many bedrooms did you have in your home?
We had 2 bedrooms.
Where did you sleep?
I slept with her.
Okay, and on October 28th and 29th and the 30th, and November 1st and November 3rd,
And never was
November 4th. Shh. Only one attitude here, right?
Yes.
Did you talk about the television set during that time?
Yes.
And
And she said she would pay for it.
did she? When did she say she would pay for it?
She told me that night it happened. I was at work. I don't get off until 12:30 after midnight. That morning, she told me that she would pay for it immediately because we was arguing, but we kind of made up before I got home off of work. And so she didn't tell me until I got home, and I stepped in the living room, and she thought I saw the TV, which I didn't. And she said, "Oh, you see it?" And I said, "See what?" And she said, the TV. I looked in the top right corner, and there was a crack in it. I was angry. I said, "Oh my God!" And she's like, "I knew you would be." She's like, "But I will pay for it."
And she didn't pay for it in October.
No.
She didn't pay for it in November before she moved out, right?
No.
Where's your television?
I haven't. That's
Did you
my
watch it?
apartment. Yes, I watch it.
Good. That's good. Okay, now let's get to the rent. You moved out November 17th.
Yes.
Your lease was up when?
The end of April 2011, that's when the lease is up.
You moved out in November.
Uh-huh.
Why?
Because during the course of us staying together, our relationship became unhealthy.
Good. So you moved out.
Yes.
And did you have an arrangement with Mr. Brown as to how the rent was going to get paid?
Well, before I moved out, when we got into it, I said, I'm going to leave for a couple of days because that's what I usually do when we get into an argument. Then he told me, if you're going to leave for a couple of days, you might as well stay gone. And I said, okay. So I came home from work. I picked up the third shift that morning. I came home with the U-Haul, and I moved my stuff out.
So?
And then, like, a couple of days later, maybe even that same week, I came back, tried to work it out. I was like, I will move back in if you need me to. He's like, no, we don't need to be together, and we don't need to be around each other right now. And so I left. I would come back periodically because I still had like little small stuff there. And plus I had paid the month in November rent, so I just kept my stuff there instead of putting it all in storage. And I moved into another apartment the 1st of December. In between that time, I would come over and ask him, I said, Colin, are you going to find a roommate? Yeah, my coworker, Aaron, is supposed to move in with me. I'm like, okay. So he never let me know if he was or not. And then I would come back over. I said, was Aaron moving in? He's like, no, he can't do it. But I got other prospects lined up.
Mr. Brown, when did you move out of